The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom. The Leo King will be live shortly. Please hold on while the collective consciousness loads, and thank you for being a part of the Leo Kingdom.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's David Palmer, the Leo King, here at highvibe.tv for your weekly show, Deep Love Tarot, going into what is going on with your love life for your individual signs and the collective we're going to do all via the tarot. And of course, I mix the astrology in this as well. And of course, we do the show from the highvibe.tv studios. And to keep shows like this on the air live for you, to be able to share with your friends and family and so forth, we ask that you check out highvibe.tv, where of course you can check out our subscription service, where we've got awesome exclusive content, my weekly sun sign horoscopes, my daily horoscopes with my daily tarot, and my weekly intuitive, and I've got my weekly tarot as well on there. And I have other exclusive specials that I trickle down in there. And of course, we have tons of other amazing content. We have free content on there. We're on Roku, we're on Android, we're on iOS, and we're on Apple TV. And we're on highvibe.tv. So lots to check out there. And by supporting us there, you help support this show. And of course, we got Craig here on the show. What's going on, Craig? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Feels amazing to be back in the studio. I've been in Colorado for the last 5 days at an awesome wedding, and was at Red Rocks last night. Want to give a big shout out to Dwight. We were talking earlier.
That's right. Dwight was in when we were on tour last year.
Yeah, it's awesome guy. Came to our show over in Denver, and he happened to be in line behind me last night. So what's up, Dwight? Thanks for the support. Appreciate it.
I know. Hey, Dwight, I will never forget you, man. We had a great combo outside right even before I went live, and you came out, and I even brought you up. And you know what? I don't know if people know, but those tour videos are free on my YouTube. If you want to check out a lot of stuff about what's coming up over the next decade, I go into it in each city, and I break it down from relationships to career to money to the spiritual family and where that is, to the future of astrology and the future of the future. It's all under the USA Leo King Tour of 2018, and there's a playlist on my YouTube. It's funny. There's hours and hours and hours of content on there, and a lot of you guys don't check that stuff out. And that's where all the crazy good stuff is. But thanks, Dwight, for being there. So if you've never watched the show before, this is where we go deep into the tarot, and of course, we also go into the Astro Dice, and we also pick from a solo cup of what's going on for which sun sign. But before we go into the sun signs, we always do the collective first. Let's see what we got going on this week for the collective in love. We got a new moon in Libra this week. And by the way, happy equinox, everybody. I haven't done an equinox video today, except for those exclusive that are on High Vibe. But you know what? For all those out there, happy equinox. There's a major shift point in life here. Whenever we come to this point, of course, we change seasons. And more importantly, we are changing seasons into the biggest season change, which I would say not like the seasons that you would understand from Earth, but we are rounding our way about to the next, solstice, which is going to be pretty intense with the eclipses and Saturn, Pluto. So this is it, folks. This is the big turn. I'm sure you can feel it in your life. And to try and find that beauty now. And love is a big part of that relationships. All right. First card that we got for this week in the collective is the Pisces card, I believe. So imagination, but also, Pisces is seeing the spiritual connection. What is spiritually connected to you? And also, what is an escape and what is truly in alignment with spirit? We need to choose in our relationships this week escapism relationships, and if it's just trying to fill some sort of void, or are these truly in alignment with our spiritual path and our better path when it comes to spirituality And I think that that's going to be a big discerning point right now. What is just kind of toxic and what is truly divine? What is showing up and what is not? So I think that that's going to be a big aspect. I've been saying that even in my channeled horoscopes, and it pulled in my tarot. If you check it out, there's a lot that I go into on highvibe.tv there. So, wow, going to get this Pisces energy. Of course, there is the magic, though, of Pisces, which I really believe, and this is the card that says I believe in magic. And so, but magic only works in the right setting. Magic has to be in a good setting, a positive setting, and one that is divinely connected. If it's not feeling that way, or if you're trying to escape into relationships this week just to try and fill the void off something, and you're not really ready to do the spiritual work and really go into a beautiful spiritual energy in your partnerships, that's not going to go well. The challenge that we got is the courage card upright. So, you know, the courage to move into better waters in relationships, the courage to move into more authentic spiritual relationships. You know, we need to find that. I think that that's a challenge even to maybe, you know, sometimes Pisces is without, right? With like being something taken away or just being without something. You know, it also kind of deals with that whole idea of, oh, what's the word? I mean, some people, last week we were talking about abstinence, right? So it's almost like when you're courageous enough to just deal with the truth of what is no longer working in a relationship, what is just totally kind of delusionally or even subconsciously being pushed aside that you're not wanting to deal with. If you have the courage to confront that, then the right things will come forward. If you're only attached to things to try and fill something and you don't have the courage to just own like, yeah, that's not good and I'll just wait to see what happens, that's when something will come in. So this courage challenge is not as hard as you really think it is. It's the courage to just do the right more, you know, thing and to connect with soul and to connect with the right vibrational energies. And the right energy for relationships will come for you this week. And we got the Page of Swords after that. So right after that, the Page of Swords is one of the fastest cards in the whole deck. Yeah, instantly you get the news that you want. You get everything you want. And I like in this card, they got like in this one, they got a bull like jumping in the air, which if you all know, bulls jumping in the air is not a very big thing in the world. That doesn't happen all the time when cows fly. Hey, when cows fly can freaking happen this week. That might sound crazy, but the good news is this Page of Swords is going to bring you the energy that makes sense, that's logical, that's fast. There's a lot of fast energy coming if you have the courage to be honest with what is not working and what is not in alignment, and also what is in alignment and what is not in the spiritual realms. And that's where we have to be right now. It doesn't matter age, whatever, all this stuff. It comes down to what is in alignment spiritually and having the courage to be honest with that. And if it is not and it is blurred and there's some confusion there and all that stuff, out. Overall, we got the patience card on that courage. You know what? That's the hard thing. And I knew it. And I even said it before I pulled this. The courage to do the thing that you want to do and be patient. And you don't even have to be patient long. It's just like, sometimes it's a minute, sometimes it's 20 minutes, sometimes it's an hour. And then watch, bam. You know, they always say it's when pigs fly. I think it's even more crazier when cows fly. Well, guess what? That's possible if you have the patience to do the courageous thing this week and watch the most amazing things happen. Our dice for this collective for this week is, we got the second house of Taurus with Venus. You cannot make this up. Wow. Holy cow. This is saying that we need to build the most best relationship energies ever when it comes to love. The best of the best. Don't be messing with things that are not the best of the best or honoring your divine, true, quality. This is about quality, not about quantity. This is not about temporary. This is about sustainability. This is about creating beautiful things. And this also deals with beautiful relationships, physically, emotionally. So there is an essence of like, if something doesn't feel on to you, even, I know this might trigger people, but you know me, I'm the most real guy. I'll be the most real tarot reader in the world. And I combine astrology and all. If you're not attracted to it, why even deal with it? Why even talk to it? I'm saying the relationship, I'm not talking about people. But there is something there as well of like, why continue with somebody that maybe you're not fully into or maybe you're not fully attracted to? So this is about learning to create and manifest from the best place forward. So that's a big deal. And there's a lot going on there. A lot.
Yeah,
All
I heard a bunch of people in the chat saying how much they like this painting. I just wanted to say this is actually the new the new series that we're doing with Kim on High Vibe. There's an Art to Life. This is going to be released tomorrow, this video, so definitely check it out. And actually, Mr. Palmer is going to be doing a live painting course with Kim here in the coming weeks, so make sure you check that out.
And I showed Kim some of my drawings, and I wanted to get her reaction, and her face was like, "You drawn very sharp lines." Very, very edgy. I was like, yep. And then she goes, what do you want to paint? And I'm like, my shadow. And then my shadow stuff. And she was like, oh, okay. I'm like, really dark stuff. And then she was like, oh, we could do that. So
Should
we
be an
got
interesting
Scorpio
one.
first. You're not having to wait till the end,
Perfect.
Craigie. You're getting it right away.
Cool. We'll just shut it down then. I'll just take off after this one.
Yeah.
It'll be
just,
perfect.
you know what? We're done.
Yep.
Scorpio's done. Craig's got his horoscope. He's just like, I'm not going to run this camera shit no more. Fucking you do it yourself. Peace. You ready for some Scorpio shit? I'm ready for some Scorpio shit. I always have to give Craig a second here and I'll check the chat here for a sec. The email is sunsignhoroscopes@gmail.com, or no, it's deeplovetarot@gmail.com if you have a question for your sun sign and title on the subject line, the sun sign. It is a gorgeous painting. I know a lot of people are talking about the painting. A lot of people are saying Craig's hot. Craig's on fire.
Well, I appreciate that because I caught a 10 a.m. flight from Denver after a nice long weekend to be here with you all. So I appreciate that support.
Yeah, Craig's still in Colorado life right now. I'm glad that you brought some of that Colorado here. All right, Scorpio. First card that we got this week is the Void Off Course Moon. Something is missing. Whew. So, not the worst card in the world, but it is saying that there is something off course, right? When the moon's void off course, it means that the moon is trailing at the end of a sign, and it actually could even happen anywhere, to be honest with you, if you really follow the old esoteric void off course moon. But, you know, the traditional one that's been going around for a long time is when you're coming to the last degrees of the moon in a sign and there's no major aspects to that moon, it's void off course. There's something missing. The moon doesn't have anything to connect with. You have to remember that the moon needs connections, because when it's by in itself and it's just not aspecting anything, it's this void energy of just kind of this emotional void of like, well, I don't know. Because remember, the moon is the only body in astrology that is truly, I mean, it needs to connect with these really more bigger frequency energies. The planets are big, huge frequency emitters there, and even the sun, right? And the earth itself, but at least the moon gets the light from the sun and it gets a lot of things. But, you know, if it's not connecting to anything, it's just like this spaceship hollow thing in space. So there is something of hollowness. There is something of something missing, or something that's not connecting. There's something in relationships this week emotionally that has created something to go a little off course here. And I'd say that challenge is due to some shadow work. So there's definitely something that's going on here emotionally, dealing with whether it's you or a partner or together, some shadow stuff, some stuff that's been behind the closet per se, or behind the veil that hasn't been revealed, that's been revealed, and it's kind of shooken up emotions. So the challenge is, can you emotionally deal with the shadows of a person? Can you yourself deal with your own shadow? But I think that this is, it's almost like being on a train and then realizing there's some robbers on the train. It always changes the whole feeling of the train ride. So, it's kind of like, can you sit comfortable in this thing? Are you going to be able to find a way to deal with the robbers? Are you going to be able to deal with how long are they going to be there for? I mean, like, there's a lot of things that you're going to have to go deep into this week and do some really deep work. And also projection shadow work of, like, some more weird energies that are going on inside of you that you're going to have to figure out. And you did pull the Five of Pentacles after that. So it almost is like it's kind of hard to deal with the situations this week, because it feels like, that you're left out, or you feel like it's, this unfortunately is a card that deals with, like, homelessness. It deals with poverty. It deals with, not feeling connected with the divine. So I think that this is going to be a little bit of, I wouldn't even say little, it's definitely a big week of trouble, but I think that the positive in all this is you did pull the innocence card over shadow. I really believe that this is returning you back to your true innocence and getting out of a lot of energy that just has kind of taken you off course in your life with a certain relationship, romantic one, and seeing if you can come back to your true innocent form, either on both parties or yourself. And if you cannot, then you're going to be kind of feeling this hard energy, but you can't attach yourself to that shadow. You're going to have to attach yourself to the innocence and finding energy that's in the same alignment as you. You did pull the Capricorn Jupiter, and that is in the 12th house. So that's definitely a Jupiter in its fall position. But Jupiter in Capricorn is like, there's only like one doorway. There's not a lot. And this doorway is to the 12th house, which is definitely shadow work, or, you know, it's like escapism, alcohol, addiction, but it's also spirituality. So it's like, are you going to go through chaotic energy and open that door and try and control a chaotic situation, or release a chaotic situation when you come to this deep truth of innocence? Did it go to a place to where you can find a spiritual connection, or did it go to a place where you can fulfill that energy that's missing, or are you going to continue enhancing a dramatic situation to where it gets too much? You're going to definitely need another card here, because this is a pretty hard set of cards. It is also a new moon in the 12th house for Scorpios as well, so this is definitely in alignment with that pretty intensely. And the squares from Venus to Saturn in your 12th house to your 3rd house, it's pretty chaotic right there. You can check out more of those information on highvibe.tv. Ganesha pulled divine support. So divine support is what you need. You need energy that is supporting you from the divine, whether those are friends or spiritual people, or energy that is supporting you, that really is supporting you, that's really there. Because I think the shadow issue is not feeling fully supported by that partnership in full ways. Like, it's not showing up fully. And you need to allow the energy that's showing up for fully come into your life. I'm very sorry, Craig.
Yeah, I changed my mind. Can we not start on Scorpio?
No, I'm sorry, Doc. Sorry. You know how this shit works, man. It's like being in Vegas, fucking. I love Pablo Francisco. We got Aries next. I love Pablo Francisco. He's my favorite stand-up comedian. He's like, you know, and I go to Vegas and get all excited and whoop, and there's all my money. Fucking gone. You know. Anyway, Aries got an interesting time. This new moon's in their relationship house for Aries, so this is going to be an interesting time. Oh, we have somebody who's a Scorpio in the chat room said, bummer, this shit is heavy.
I would agree with that person.
All right, Aries. Let's go. First card that we got is the Mercury retrograde card. You know what? For the, I don't know, 3 months we've been doing this, we've never pulled this card. Let's see. Mercury is in Libra. This is going to be an interesting week. This is having you rethink the way that you look at your whole life and relationships big time this week, Aries. And it's reinvention. That the way that you've been going about relationships, you need to rethink it. Your ideas of how relationships work, it's time to change those. That there is new information that has shown up. There is new information that is showing up that is saying you do not need to keep going through relationships the same way that you've been going through. You do not need to keep identifying, you know, partners in a certain way. And also it is a different way to communicate because Mercury is retrograde as that card that you first got. So this is definitely Aries changing the way that they are communicating and observing relationships and allowing that to change in their head, because it's almost like Mercury always comes to retrograde point because it's reached too far from the sun, and if it went to any farther, it'd go crazy. So it's almost like you're getting rid of your crazy ideologies and your crazy ideas and your crazy weird conceptions in your head about partnership this week in love. And your challenge is truth. I think that this means that you have challenge with trust, challenge with even the truth within yourself, of that it's more about the way that you have been using your mind, the way that you've been communicating in your own environments and the choices you make in your head and the way that you communicate. The challenge is, do you know how to even bring up your own truth? Whenever we have trust issues, it's always actually the situation of the trust within ourselves. It's not the external, you know what I mean? This is a week where I think that you can get to the ultimate truth of, maybe this is you having to make a lot of changes in your head, in how you are in relationships, the environment of the kind of relationships you're in, and reusing a new set of circumstances when it comes to, identification through the mind and a new factual element, and to trust. And the challenge is to actually see the truth, that maybe these situations when you get the new information were those, and the truth is you need to accept that that's what that was, and that doesn't continue on. I think that there's a big challenge of you continuing this same truth that's denying you the love, or even creating negative situations in love that continue, by owning that truth that has to change. And to get through that, you got the Hierophant card. You need to connect with energies and relationships, or find a spiritual path with a relationship. The Hierophant is the Pope card. It is a card also that brings tradition. It also brings, more importantly, rituals. And I think that for you, this is about building a new ritual about love and relationships that's more about, is this energy that I'm in a relationship have the honest truth and the connection to a divine? And does it have this energy where it's showing up and it's got a ritual, and I'm showing up and it's got a ritual to that? Like there's a need for a ritual. There's a need to show up. There's a need to, really be there and be part of something instead of kind of segregated. It's time to kind of form a coalition, and are you ready to do that? And are you ready to also, because the Pope takes on the role of being the voice of God, right? So it owns the role. Are you ready to even own a role in a relationship this week, and change the way that you've thought about relationships? And you did pull the Love card as your overall on top of the challenge, that love is waiting for you when you trust. Love is waiting for you when you also bring out all of your truth, and you change your truth to a new set of circumstances in the mind, and you have a deeper spiritual, more connected connection in yourself and in love. You did pull Mercury in the 6th house in Sagittarius. You are redoing your whole fundamental ideas and belief structures of your day-to-day life, your environment, but more importantly, this is you having to look a lot bigger out there instead of focusing on these little things that have made you have negative belief structures and too critical. You need to be open and open your criticism and stop expand your ideas of your schedule and allowing things in to be able to experience great things, because Mercury in the 6th always is so critical and so busy. But in Sag, it's like, hey, we need to still be open to be able to allow great things in. So, interesting.
Well, that was nice.
Yeah. It's amazing how the energies turn. We did get Libra next. This is a very weird order that we are in today. Scorpio, Aries, Libra.
I actually was dropping a little tarot out there in Colorado for the wedding
were you?
party. I was.
I dropped some tarot. I did 2 readings this weekend, actually.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And they were really good readings. And of course, I won't reveal who they are, but I keep that shit sacred. But yeah, it was really good readings. And it felt good to actually do them. And I did some pretty deep, long spreads. I did some big ones. All right, Libras. What do we got for Libras right now? We got any Libras in the chat room? Happy birthdays, Libras. By the way, happy birthday today to my grandmother, my Oma, Wilhelmina, 94 years old. This weekend we celebrated her birthday and surprised her. And today is my grandmother's birthday. She's my Oma because I am Dutch on my mother's side. And happy birthday, Oma, for 94 years of being the most amazing Libra that helped raise me with my mom and was always there. And you have always been there through all my life and every moment and every trouble and tribulation and everything, and always loved me and always supported me and always been the biggest, brightest light in our family. And to be 94, I am just so blessed to have you in my life. And I love you so much, and you've brought in so much joy to everybody, and you continue to be an amazing, beautiful light to all of us in our family. and I love you so much. And you are truly an amazing gem that is the most beautiful soul on the whole planet I've ever met. I love you very much. All right. Happy birthday, Oma. We got the Chiron card, healing. So there's definitely some wounds this week that Libras are dealing with. Chiron also is in opposition to this new moon. Going to be interesting in your relationship house. So there's some feelings that things are weird in relationships this week. But, you know, there's going to be some healing that needs to take place, whether that's you scarring someone or you feeling scarred just in general, or you're going through your own healing process that's kind of projecting on the relationship, whether that's a physical healing or anything. Chiron definitely deals with a lot of weird energies, and in opposition to this new moon, yeah, this is definitely a time where, you know, you're trying to form your life, but Chiron is in opposition into this new moon element. It's like, what the hell? Like, how am I going to also integrate this weird relationship situation I'm going on? I got to figure out my own thing. But you are a sign of balance, and so I think that this week it's important for you to realize that you gotta approach things from a very humble place. You have to be very open, and you have to be willing to take these energies instead of try and deny them. Because when we're in a place of healing, we have to let go, and we have to like allow things to happen, and we have to be humbled. We can't try and control things or get really intense, because when we're Lieutenant Dan screaming that our legs have been blown off and that we're alive, it doesn't go well. And then you end up in New York City 10 years later drinking beer on a wheelchair with Forrest Gump. And it's not until years later that you end up in the Bubba Gump Shrimp Company and that you finally look up and you see God and you go through a storm that you realize, holy shit, there's God. And you jump into the ocean and swim, and you end up marrying an amazing Asian woman, and you get prosthetic legs, and you show up to Forrest's beautiful wedding with your hair short. You got the grounded card. That's your challenge right now. You're a little all over the place, Libra. We need to bring you back down to earth here. This grounded card is your challenge. It's staying grounded and controlled of the emotion, especially since we got the anchor. I would say that this is very Capricornian, and that's your 4th house, and that's where we do got big squares this week from Venus in your sign to Saturn. So staying grounded right now is going to be definitely your challenge, especially about dealing with healing. It's almost like you want to just pull anchor this week and peace the fuck out. Well, guess what? That doesn't go too well. And that's why it's interesting that my guides wanted to show you that whole Forrest Gump story of Lieutenant Dan. I do not want Lieutenant Dans out there running around Libra-wise in relationships, pissed off when really Forrest Gump was out there freaking saving your life and getting you out of an old story that you were believing in about that you needed to die in every single war, like your family did. But if we detach from that story for a second, you know, a challenge of groundingness is allowing things to be as they are, and especially with Chiron. There's a part of you that does not want to accept the way things are this week in relationships, and you are going to try everything that you can. And Chiron, on the negative aspect, not grounded, definitely can really put itself into some even more extreme health situations, or just vulnerable situations, or even feeling more alone. And I don't think that you want to pull anchor and pull out of a situation to feel alone, that you need to stay grounded, that you need to stay dealing and accepting of energies. You did pull the High Priestess, so you need to like pay attention to a more divine, higher guidance. You need to also pray. You need to connect with God. You need to connect with the angels more. You need to have a spiritual presence. If you do not have a spiritual presence and you're not listening to what would Spirit do, you know, there's always that whole analogy in Christianity of what would Jesus do, what would Spirit do? And I think that you need to approach every situation from a grounded situation this week and listen to, what would Spirit do? What is Spirit telling me to do? Spirit is not something that convinces you to do crazy stuff. Spirit always finds a positive outcome. It always tries to find a compromise. It always tries to find compassion. It also finds a peaceful place. And this is where you're needing to be, is in a peaceful, accepting place, because there's a lot of not wanting to accept the way things are going on right now, not only in your life, but that's how it's affecting your relationships. And overall, you got the luck. You got luck when you're grounded. You got luck when you connect with Spirit, when you find a way to connect spiritually and find it. And more importantly, when you're ready to make a commitment, grounded energy and challenge with luck. You have luck when you commit, but you're almost not wanting to commit to energy in relationships because you're going through so much of healing. Well, guess what? Maybe that commitment is what will heal you quicker in your life, because you keep abandoning but feel abandoned yourself, but you're probably the abandoning person. Wow, and of course on Libra, this one went far back. I can hear it.
Did not take long, ladies and gentlemen.
I got it.
I'm just giving people a nice little view of your backside.
What?
I'm just giving people a nice little view of your backside.
Oh, very nice.
Thought I'd spice it up a little bit.
Hey. Well, we got Mars and Aries as the first two, and then we got the fifth house. Yeah, so this is about with this deck right now, and this is a weird one. I mean, Mars is definitely in its home sign here. It's dignity here in Aries in the fifth house. This is about going towards love and, pushing love instead of ego. Showing positivity, showing being the embodiment of an identification of love instead of the tyrant and the warrior of your own, especially with Chiron and Aries, wounded battle. Do you want to be a wounded warrior right now, or do you want to be a leader of love? That's a big question for you this week in your relationships, and how to guide yourself through this week, Libra.
I'd say you should go the route of being a leader in love.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that's a little bit more fitting for those Libras out there.
Yeah, I agree. All right. We did get Taurus next. What's the chat have to say? Watch that spiky mace thing. Oh, yeah. They used to club people with this thing back in the day, and just bam! I guess Game of Thrones won in the Emmys last night, right? Or something like that? I don't know. Stopped watching that a while ago.
Yeah, now they're doing that spin-off and prequel or some shit.
They're doing a spin-off?
Something like that. That's what I read online.
Huh.
It's going to be on, I don't know who it's going to be about, but probably Ari or something.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we got Tauruses now. All right. Taurus. What do we got for you? We have got Capricorn. So your ninth house, this is also where Venus is squaring Saturn this week. This is about your beliefs about relationships coming to a major, redefining the path that you are going on this week is based upon your beliefs in relationships. If you have different beliefs or challenging beliefs, that might be a good thing. It's making you to re-examine and use the tools of expanding through new circumstances and new understandings about how you're going to play relationships. I will say with Capricorn, it does deal with integrity. So if you're dealing with an ex that's trying to come back in your life, if they did something negative, like sleep with someone else or something, and cheat on you, especially cheat on you, this is definitely a time for you to also as well. I mean, Capricorn does come up. It is very restrictive, and it also is very, deterministic as far as what it wants. You can have what you want, but you have to be open. It is your ninth house, and this is where your South Node and Saturn and Pluto are, and there's major squares forming up here with Venus this week and Mercury. So I think that this is about redefining the kind of, goals and the beliefs and the identity of where you want relationships to go, and that you can have them if you're open to new roads in how relationships are going to be, and that you can achieve those roads. And if you do that, I think that challenge is due to, time. I think that there's been a lot of time wasted, especially whenever we get challenges, time, or you feel that you don't have time for a relationship, or that you're putting all your time into energies, Capricorn, that are wasting away from the ability of love. I think that you need to use your time more efficiently. I think that you also need to realize that this is a time for you to make change. Change in the way that you go about relationships, change in the way that you allow relationships to be coming into your life. This is a big time for that. And it's a big time for you to really, especially because Capricorn is the ruler of time. So we got a lot of things about how you use your time efficiently, how you are planning. And more importantly, there is a sun and a moon in this, it's like your day and night, what are you doing? And are you allowing even a relationship that could fit into your time frame of your day and night life and your path? You did pull the Five of Wands reversed. So, you keep thinking there's conflicts when there's no conflicts. It's like you're actually not showing up. Conflicts are actually good because they actually, in this sense, when it's reversed, create a finding to try and find an understanding, but it's almost like you're not part of the game. I always look at Five of Wands as even though there's conflict and even though they're trying to like, you know, I've got this view and I got that view and da 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 da, but they can all form a beautiful big pyramid, like a teepee, or they can come together. At least they're in the battle, or at least they're in the world and in the passion. With this reverse, like it's almost like there's no tension and you know, are you allowing that to come in? Like, I'm not saying that, you know, relationships have to be negatively tension, but, you know, there's positive tension. There's something called sexual tension, you know, like there's a part of you almost like not in the game. And I think that you've got to get in the game this week and you got to show up in the game. And I think there's a little bit of a hermit energy here with all this Capricorn time and Five of Wands. And even though we don't have a hermit that pulled up, there's definitely like you kind of been pulled out. You got to pull yourself back in, Taurus. You did pull the beauty card. You need to show the world that beauty. Wow, we've never pulled this card also in 8, or I don't even know how many weeks. I mean, like 12 weeks of this show. You know what? You need to show your beauty and stop being a hermit. And guess what? You will attract everything that you want. But if you are also not feeling beautiful within yourself, guess what? That's going to be an issue. But you have to, this week, I think, really focus on, you know, that beautification of yourself. Whether, you know what? Go get your makeup done. Go get a blowout. Go have your girlfriend or your dude go buy a new pair of jeans or something. Do something to make you feel good to get back out there in the game. Taurus has got to get back out there. There's a lot of not showing up. We got 11th house, we got North Node, and we got Sagittarius. I mean, you need to go be social again. You need to get back out there. You need to go explore. You need to go express your feelings. You need to go express, more importantly, your connection to people, your connection to, you know, energies, and you need to express and explore. There's definitely a need. This is triply, I mean quadruply, 5 times the universe is pulling a lot of this kind of hermit energy here of not really fully getting in the game and restricting yourself and having this ideology of waiting for everything to show up a certain way. Well, guess what? You need to be the one that shows up a certain way, and you need to get your butt into gear. By the way, we're running fast because it's been a long day. We have a lot going on, and I have to leave at 8:45 to go pick up my medication before it closes. Gemini is next. That's why I keep looking at the clock. I got 45 minutes left, and I got how many signs did we do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the 5th one. So, woo. If there are questions, you know, we'll pull them up. Tauruses are hermits, people are saying. Could not be more true. I'm kind of over hermit model or mode. I literally just wanted to be in bed eating and watching Netflix last week, and everyone came out of nowhere. Didn't spend a day at home. Very nice. Talk about this week.
Spread those wings.
All right, Gemini, y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? All right, Gemini, we got the Mercury card, your own sign, which is really good. Of course, your own planet, I mean. This is definitely a week of you need to take in consideration a lot of facts in relationships this week instead of basing everything emotionally. Especially with this being a new moon in your 5th house of love this week and Mercury square Saturn that just finished, Mercury sextile Jupiter. There's a lot about your love and wanting to move forward in relationships, but you need to think clearly. You need to look at the facts. You need to disconnect emotionally because Mercury is the ruler of astrology. It is hermetic, and you need to look at both sides, and you need to weigh out both sides, and that's what every Gemini needs to do, because if a Gemini doesn't weigh out both sides, they're not weighing out both twins. There's 2 parts of yourself. Usually there's a lot more than that, but it's like there is this double-sided edge of the sword here, and are you really getting in a situation where you're getting a complete both sides satisfied here? There's something about satisfaction and facts showing up that you know are not showing up that you need to keep reviewing, and that challenge of those facts are dealing with your emotion. I knew it! I can't fucking make this shit up, man. You know, that's your challenge, is you are so emotionally invested in certain relationships without looking at the truth, the facts, and weighing those things out And this week, you got to be cautious because you could jump into a major relationship this week, or jump into something, or jump out of a relationship that you've already been in for a long time for some emotional situation that you didn't look at the mental truth and the real aspects of why things are going on. And with Mercury here making some big square to Pluto as well, you know, you need to look at the truth. You need to look at like some hidden stuff. There's some hidden stuff. There's some secrets on the other side, and there's some secrets within yourself. And that you're emotionally trying to wash those away. Like, nope, I don't even know why they're there. And once you do that, you got the Ace of Wands. You might have to start into looking into a new relationship. When you get to the truth of this, you might need to go on a new path. Or you do start a new relationship as far as taking it to the next level, and you start on this new exciting path forward. So there's a lot of positives here. Once you disconnect emotionally, get to the bottom of the truth, and if you can deal with that truth and disconnect from the emotion, and the emotion and the truth line up, man, you're rocking ship in either into a new direction that you've never been before as far as a new relationship, like a new, not just like now I'm in a new relationship because we weren't there. But there's a lot of things that are going to be changing for you relationship-wise this week. Big time for the Geminis in romantic and love, especially because of this new moon, and especially this card's coming at the end of the deck by the end of this week. Ace of Wands is an awesome card. I really have nothing bad to say here, except you just need to look at what you're looking into to make sure that you go in the right direction of a brand new start of a relationship, and that it's formed from the right place, or that you're on the track to the real kind of road that can get you to where you need to go. You did also get the fertility card. So there you are, fertility, trying to create things emotionally. And, you know, one thing is that you can create things in a beautiful place emotionally, but if the mind stuff is not in the right place, the facts aren't looked at, the environment's not looked at, the truth's not looked at, well, that's not going to go down too well, because then you'll end up pregnant or fertile or creating something with some sort of reality of truth that's not truly there, and just the emotional aspect of attachment without a reality or an environment that is truly there, that is going to create what you want. And that's the signal of an alien baby. We got Neptune in Libra in the 7th house. So yeah, there's a lot that needs to be uncovered in your relationships this week, if whether it is on the true spiritual path. And I think that that's where the mind is trying to figure out. There are some weird things about people you're talking to right now, or someone you're talking to, or in your relationship, or you're hiding it. I'm getting this on the exterior more because it is the 7th house with these dice, and we got Neptune there. There's some delusion, and Neptune in the 7th house is delusional. It's not looking at everything, and it's like trying to create this ultimate relationship without looking at the facts, without weighing things out correctly, and it's lost in a dream. And I would hate for you to have this dream turn the wrong direction without looking at the facts and getting to the deep thing that you know there's something off mentally that's going to show up. Mercury's going to square Pluto, Venus is going to square Saturn, and then Venus is getting ready to square Pluto. So that all Geminis are in some situations where there is something not fully showing up. There's some sort of secret going on. You can move in the right direction, but that's a total brand new situation. That can be defined any other way, though, once you work through a lot of these weird things going on.
I feel like that was fitting for a little truth bomb right there.
That was a very fitting truth bomb.
Oh, it's good.
All right.
Make it happen, Geminis.
We did get the Aquarians next. Got a little Aquarius action. Let's see how the Geminis reacted to this. Like, ew, must we? I don't know what that was about. Delusions equals alien babies. Be careful, Geminis. That's right. Accidentally created an alien baby because I didn't have all the info. Damn. Well, you know, that's how fast they come. They're not that fun. Last week I was talking about predator babies. You know, I want to say this for the Geminis. There is something about that Pluto in the 8th house of dealing with darkness, dark people, dark energies that are not truthful, that act light, that are not dark. That is your biggest thing to pay attention to. With North Node in Cancer, you definitely need to pay attention to who is on the up and up emotionally and showing that it is not putting on an act and knows how to be real. All right, Aquarians, we all ready? Well, for the Aquariuses, we got the 5th house. This is a great week for love for you. This is a big card. This always deals with the love aspects. There's some big love aspects happening for, Aquarians in a unique way. One, I think this new moon in Libra is looking at the positives and to explore love, and is your relationship and your love life moving forward and expanding, or is it kind of the same situation? And is there some sort of creative energy together? Is there some sort of passion? This is where you need to find extreme happiness and passion and not be afraid to have that in your life this week. So it's definitely a time for you to really, focus on where the real happiness is, where the real love is, where's fun. It's got to be fun. It can't just be like, I'm doing this because this is some easy situation. No, fifth house needs fire. If there's no fire, you already know. Yep, your issue is your challenge is, there's no stimulation. Like if there's no stimulation, that's not gonna bring fire. Air needs to fuel fire, right? Like that's the fuel for fire. Remember, fire needs all the elements, really. But the main thing is that your challenge is also intellectually, that there's something missing intellectually there, or even communication, but I would say both. And I think that in order for you to have the love that you want, you need to have that ultimate stimulation that you truly do want. And once you find that, it's time for you to truly find that stimulation and find that fire and try to find that adjustment. Have a conversation with your partner. Or if you're dating, stay away from those non-stimulating situations that are not exciting and fiery and passionate. I mean, I know that sounds very cliche for love, but I mean, there's some part of you that's in situations like that right now. And you pulled the Three of Pentacles up right after that. Yeah, you need to build something that's beautiful. This is the card that builds, sculpturing. And it's got, wise people around it. It's got people that are in helping. It's building something beautiful. I love this Golden Tarot always, because the Three of Pentacles is always like, it's like being in a cathedral and building like the 16th chapel, It's like building something great. You can build something so great, but you can't do that if you're in a non-stimulating situation. So when it comes to your financial life, it comes to your work life, it comes to where you're creating things right now in your relationships, guess what? You're not going to create something great if you're in a relationship that's not stimulating and not exciting and passionate and got a lot of fire. Not going to happen. You did get the Rebirth card. Yeah, there is something about resetting a situation or re-looking at it, but having to rebirth it and find that fire and find that excitement. And if it can't be found, you're rebirthing into a new place to go build something better. And that's how you're going to have to take it. If not, if you're not ready to rebirth it, if you're not ready to face a deeper truth, a rebirthing card always deals with a deeper, you need to get to the bare bones in the bottom of this thing. You cannot just be in an attachment mode, or you just can't be in a place where, oh yeah, I'm just going to be in this because fucking, yeah, I'm just, no, this is like rebirth. Get to this. That's definitely this Venus square Pluto in your 12th. That's coming. This is definitely Venus square Saturn, which is in your 12th. A lot of 12th house energy squaring off to your 9th house. You need to re-examine things instead of just kind of going through the motions. You did get Jupiter and Capricorn in the 3rd house. You need to rethink the best path forward in your life and open up the doors that logically make sense in stimulation, and then you could have what you want in love. But if you are in environments that are like old energy and they're not expansive and they're not got good energy, because Jupiter, remember, Capricorn's Sagittarian. Jupiter is in Saturn's house when it's in Capricorn. So it's like, are you with somebody that's acting really old and they're not 3rd house and exciting and young and passionate, and it's like you're with an old person energetically that's just not exciting, and get out of that. Go towards that exciting energy this week. Go towards that vibe, Aquarius. Trying to help out my opposite sign.
Jude is making moves today.
I've been on fire today.
Crushing it.
Pisces. I did a lot of soul work this weekend, brother.
That's good. That's always needed. Looking within.
I did a lot of soul work.
Assessing the life that we're living. All right, Pisces.
All right. Somebody said, oh my God, my aqua acts old. Well, I don't really know what to say to that one. I think that it's more aquas act old when they're afraid to be that unique rebellion and realize that they can connect to whatever they want in the world, but they're looking for safety and they're looking for They're looking for weird safety. They don't trust the universe enough at this moment. All right, we got the Sagittarius card for Pisces right away. This is an awesome card, of course, for love. I mean, it's definitely about expansion and growth and opening up a lot of great doors. This is your 10th house, though, so this could come from your work, you know, a work relationship, or this could come from somebody in the same line of work as you. But I think that definitely this is a week where you need to look at your long-term path, and you need to look at the excitement of the passion of, you know, a big thing that you see that you want to have in your life, and go towards it. But if you're in a relationship and you're not seeing a path forward, and you're just like, is this the path? It's not expanding. It's just, this is it. Like, it's and you're farther away from an adventure in your life. That's where you're going to need to redirect things right now and try and have those conversations. But also, Sagittarius is your beliefs. You need to believe in the love that you want to have. But if you're trying to believe in love that's not going anywhere, and it keeps showing you this path where you don't move on and you don't look at your life, Pisces, you morph. If you've been looking the same way forever and haven't changed, that's where you haven't expanded and grown. You did pull the growth card. You are afraid to grow into a new place, Pisces. Ugh. To have Sagittarius with challenges, growth? Yeah, you need to not be afraid of growing your life by, you know what, taking your life down the rabbit hole and going back into the magic. But there's something that's holding you there. I think that this challenge is like you're afraid of growing because you're afraid of getting out of the cycle that you understand. But the whole part about being a Pisces is about going on the magical adventure of a whitewash, or going down a crazy stream, like going down a waterfall, like moving and flowing. You are in a place where you need to move and flow again in love, because you have been trapped and stuck in the same place, and you're not willing to grow and expand because you're afraid again to get back out there and change your ways and go into an exciting. It's like, why are you afraid to expand? Why are you afraid to grow? Why are you afraid to experience so much? I mean, that's a big part of this. You know what I mean? Like, and you got the fucking Hangman. I'm just so fucking good lately. I'm on fire today. Oh, that's your fucking problem. You want to just stay in the same fucking place and not do fucking shit, and you just want something great to happen, and you're in the same place all the time. You're not willing to grow out of that. You are not at all. Now, you've gained a lot of knowledge here, but it's like, how much do you want to keep doing until the shitter is fucking full in the porta potty and we don't have anybody to undo that motherfucker, and it's just, smelling like crap? Hangman is a great card for a moment, not for a long time. To get this is like your overall after all this, like, holy shit. Literally, I was just talking about shit. But, Pisces, you're afraid of growth. You're afraid of exploring a new territory. It's one thing to say that I am ready. It's another to actually do it. Like, I think that this is where you just keep putting yourself in a stuck. You're waiting on like something else or exterior of yourself to save me. Like, unhang me, please. You're going to have to learn to unhang yourself and explore and grow and go towards where you want to go in your life. And that's when relationships, and that's where energies are going to come. And you did pull good fortune once you're willing to make that hard growth in your life, that hard truth. You did get that good fortune card. And you will get all your dreams to come true in love and relationship, but you are stuck because you are stuck and not willing to grow anymore, and you're stuck and not willing to expand and to take big, Sag is your 10th house. Guess what? You're afraid to make big decisions and actually do it without the authority of somebody telling you to do it, or the guarantee that they'll be there, or anything like that. It's an independent understanding that you must do. You must make these choices on your own. You pulled the 9th house, Neptune, Scorpio. So yeah, it's great. You have intense dreams, and they're big, but they're delusional because you are not in them. You have not connected to them. You are not fully connected. You are not fully in it. You are not all the way in it. You are not there. It's all an idea. It's all, there's so much of this whole conception of an idea, or you're lost in your own, everything's great. I don't want to look at the truth that I'm not emotionally and sexually even into this, or it's sexual issues, like not willing to expand, your sexual stuff, or you're not living your edge and your truth, and you're not feeling that edge and that truth, and there's a fear of that. There's a denial of that. There's a need to connect deeper and a connection to expanding. You got to commit to that yourself.
Time for those Pisces to kind of step out of their comfort zone a little bit.
No, big time. Big
Step
time.
out
Actually,
into
I
the
have
world
to
and let
burn a card
everybody
'cause I saw
see
that one.
you.
All right. We're just rolling like a train. We got Leo next. Oh, shit. Good thing I had seen that card. There was something that was like, I wonder if Leo's next. I burned boundaries card. This person said, I love David in Deep Astrology and After Dark, but not a huge fan of his love advice. Never really connects. That's cool.
Hey, you know, we can't be everyone's cup of tea all the time.
No.
Sometimes, you know, we'll rub people the wrong way. Sometimes we'll rub you the right way.
Yep. It's all good. It's all good in the hood. All right, Leo, y'all ready? I'm ready.
I'm ready.
We got the North Node, life's purpose. All right. So this is about time in life when it comes to love. Like, it's got to be on your life's purpose. It's got to be, this North Node in Cancer has to be on a spiritual purpose. Like, they have to, if you're in a relationship right now and it's not feeling like your life purpose, or it's not feeling in your spiritual divine energy, or it's not connected with the same energies of understanding of spirit and so forth, it's not going to work. You need to be focused on relationships that support your life purpose, they understand your life purpose, and you yourself can't get distracted from your life purpose from certain relationships. You need to stay on this purpose, you need to stay on this path, and only bring in relationships or love situations that want to be part of this life purpose, want to be part of this path. You are a Leo, being a king or a queen, it's very difficult to bring in a relationship that's not fully believing in the kingdom, you know, and the magic, especially since Leos are in a magical place with the North Node in the 12th house, or magic flopping on its head when, you know, you're not within that purpose of doing your magic. The challenge card for Leos is the divinity card. Yeah, if it's not feeling like it's from the divine and you're having to push for this thing and it's not wanting to show up, it's not wanting to be part of divine timing, there's something about, you know, maybe they don't even believe in divinity, or maybe it just doesn't feel like it comes from divine. It doesn't have this like, wow, this feels like it's coming from like, this was all aligned from the universe. This was all aligned. There's got to be signs. There's got to be like crazy signs. There's got to be like crazy connection that feels like God is bringing this thing together. If there is not, it's a waste of time. And a lot of that I think is going to be not so much on, it's going to be on your half on, okay, recognizing that, but it's on the other side where it's like, is that person connected with the divine? Are they willing to be connected with the divine, or are they just playing around with it? And you know what? You don't have time to play games with the North Node and with divinity at all. This is not a time for games. This is about only messing with people that are going to be divinely on part with a life purpose and growing in a positive direction of knowing, you know, that spiritual divinity in that path. We've got the King of Cups. So, you know, you're in a very secure place emotionally when you're in alignment with divinity. You're a very unsecure place when you're not. So, you know, your security comes from just staying on the path that the Lord, that divinity, that God, that spirit is telling you to stay, that makes sense, that feels like it's got signs, and it's headed in that direction. But when energy's trying to disconnect, or energy's trying to push you away, or is not really part of your purpose, or is not wanting to connect on the same purpose as you, or team up together in a life purpose, or be part of divinity, then you're not going to be emotionally sound right now anyway, because it's not going to feel like, you know, you're doing anything that's that exciting or worthwhile, and you'll feel emotional and insecure because you're going to be wondering if the divine is going to continue to show up on that life purpose or not, and you're trailblazing forward right now in life, and you don't have time for energy that's not showing up in the divine order. And magic, look at this. The magic comes in the most magical way for you this week with love for those that come through divinity, that those are from divinity, that are connected to the divine, that are connected to the ultimate life purpose, and that are truly there. So, you know, this is definitely an amazing week. I mean, this is like just making sure that you're staying on track with spirit, that those people that you bring in, or if you're in a relationship, that you've redirected it and both people are in the divine and understand the divine and understand that life purpose for you. It's great, and that's where you get your emotional confidence from. You did get 6th house, Scorpio, and this is the South Node. Wow. So this is about focusing on not Scorpio, not the 6th house, but focusing where the North Node is. This is about letting go of the reality that of this trying to find this passion that is critical or that you are specifically trying to find. You need to focus on the wider view of something beautiful, something that feels divine, something that feels beautiful. If it feels like, you know, you're having to work hard and put so much in and you're not getting anything back, guess what? That's not gonna work. Because if it's divine, if it's in life purpose, you're not gonna have to work hard for it at all. It's just gonna, 12th house Taurus, show up as beautiful as it is, like literally angels falling. The angels are the rulers of Taurus, by the way, and the 7 sisters, just coming down, just bang, there you are, just divine. Like, if love is not just showing up divine, just like ready to go, and you're having to work hard and try all these things, and it's not trying to connect, and you know what? Nope.
I mean, that kind of makes it up for, did you do the dice? Did I miss that?
I just did it. It was 6th house Scorpio, South Node. If you're working too hard and it's not returning back, it should just show up as a beautiful angel that just shows up into your life. Taurus, 12th house, just divine and in your life purpose, and just there it is.
Boom.
Boom.
I guess that kind of makes up for that Scorpio.
That's right, because if y'all don't know, Leo or Craig's Leo rising, Leo moon.
That I am, ladies and gentlemen.
Leo rising, Leo moon. All right, we got Virgos. Virgo! I saw some people in there going, Virgo, Virgo. They just want their Virgo readings.
All right, all right. I love the back of that phone, how it's all reflective like that.
Yeah.
I was playing around with that new iPhone this weekend. Some friends had it out there.
Which one?
The new iPhone with the 3 cameras on it.
Oh, was it cool?
Know? Yeah, it's all right. I mean, the cameras look weird on the back of it, but they're expensive. They're like $1,200 or something.
I think we have 14. I was looking at them for you and I, and I'm like, damn. But that's why they do down payments and payment plans.
True, 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 true.
By the way, I just saw the W brothers in here. I'm going to be putting out this week a video for you all. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm wearing a Leo ring, and then there's awesome necklaces with the W brothers. And I'm going to have a discount code, and
You could probably show them on the other camera.
oh yeah, yeah, this is the Leo one right here, and they're really awesome. They're made, and you can get them in rose gold, you can get them in gold, or you can get them in silver. And this is real silver too. It's not just like some crap stuff. I love the real stuff. I was going to do something today, but we just didn't have time, and Craig just got back, so I'll be promoting it on Deep Astrology tomorrow, and you're going to start seeing me promote them more, but they're pretty awesome. And the W brothers, they're awesome peeps, and they're locally based, so like I've done my extensive research on it and really wanted to do jewelry, and we don't have enough time to be out there scavenging and knowing how to do this stuff, and so partnering with them to do Zodiac jewelry is awesome, and I'm super excited to be doing it. So definitely you're gonna love all their stuff, and the necklaces are amazing as well too. But I'll be promoting more about that. I just want to put that out there to peeps. I think my code is like Leo King 10. If you guys are in there, I think I just saw the W brothers in there. I think they could put my promo code in there. But I'll be promoting it on Deep Astrology tomorrow and on After Dark, and I'll be promoting it on Instagram and stuff like that, and I'm making a video about them too. All right, we are at Virgos. You know what? I don't know what to say. I think we pulled Leo for Virgo last week. I don't know if we did. I mean, I think we did. I don't know. But this is a good and interesting week. One, Leo is, of course, the sign that does rule love. It does rule happiness. It does rule the ultimate, loving and divine love, right? But I think that there's this this quality this week where it's like, you've got to find courage. You have to find that willpower, and you're going to have to stay on track with that. You know, anything this week that is not feeling like you're in your own will, you're in your own love, you're in your own happiness, anything that's trying to pull from your will or trying to, I don't know why I'm getting gaslighting, like trying to make you feel crazy, like for the love that you give, like you need to be cautious of that. This is a week though to not be afraid. You've got the strength, you've got the will, but this is about trailblazing in your love life and staying only in that lane of true love and true your willpower and true your own courage and true, you're emitting your true heart. The challenge that we're pulling up with this is good fortune. So it almost feels like bad luck with love, because maybe what you've loved or what you are in love with is not showing up the fully way that you want to this week, or it just feels like there's something unfortunate that happens this week love-wise, and you're going to have to stay strong through it this week. You're going to have to stay courageous and know that everything happens for a reason. And with love, you know, whenever you pull full love out there, if something looks bad or like a block, you know what it is? It's readjusting to make sure that you stay on the love train. You know what I mean? So don't look at this as bad. Look at this as like, okay, I'm going to keep my will going. I'm going to, whatever this is, because after that, yeah, you got the King of Pentacles reversed. This is where it's affecting your value in the things that you attain, that you have held on to for so long. And it's trying to get rid of it because you know, you feel empowered by having a certain sort of love and relationship right now, or even the lack thereof. You know, there's a part of you that feels like, well, I don't have anything, so how can I even find love or anything if you're a single Virgo out there? Like, you know, Virgos are definitely having to deal with a shift when it comes to the understandings of what is good and what is bad luck and what you have and what you don't have, and whether or not it's truly in alignment with, are you really happy? And are you truly coming from happiness? You need to reevaluate the things that you do have in a relationship, or the lack thereof if you're single. And you need to get rid of, I think, this notion of what is good or bad, or if you have bad luck and bad fortune going on right now. A lot of that is more about what's going on with the true happiness situation in yourself if you're single, and if you're in a relationship, if there's really full love fully there, and get to the bottom of that. You did pull the inspiration card. Yeah, you are having to find your own inspiration through any of these negative feelings that come up this week, but that's not a bad thing. This is a week where if you stay inspirational, you stay positive, you stay in your love train, and more importantly, anything that pops up this week that just doesn't work out the way you want, or it's not showing up the way you want to, you need to hold the line. You need to hold the line of your happiness, hold the line of your love, and you cannot be attached to this, oh, I need to achieve or hold on or have that. Because I think when you let go of that, then you can allow something to come in. Because you Virgos are pretty stingy as far as how you want love to come in. Just gonna be honest. You all got Moon in the 7th house in Aquarius. Yeah, you need to emotionally connect in relationship differently. You need to learn to disconnect from the emotion a little bit and find where's the connection points. I also think that, you know, Moon in Aquarius can sometimes, of course, it can feel a little cold, but this is logical emotion. Like, hey, I'm emotionally feeling this way, but I don't feel connected here. I feel connected here. Let me weigh this out. Let me see if my partner is connected as much as I am. Let me see if the energy I'm trying to pull in, like if it's not connecting, I'll just pull out. Like it's like very simple, but this can be very difficult if you don't know the understanding of Aquarius has a line that is about connecting and another one that's in harmony with it disconnecting when it needs to. There is something about a fuse, right? Like, if you pull the fuse panel and you go, and it connects and all the light comes on and it doesn't pop, well, then you stay connected. But if it pops constantly, there's an issue that's broken emotionally in the relationship world. That's where you're going to find it. Where does it keep popping, that fuse emotionally in a relationship this week that you can either replace, and what needs to be done in that area? It's a big one for Aquarians.
Yeah, it's interesting when people just kind of want to brush issues underneath the table and just kind of not acknowledge them. I always find that interesting. Why would you continue down a path that's just not working out?
I mean, I think that it's easier for Leo risings because we have Aquarius as our 7th house, so we're pretty easily like, yeah, no, this doesn't make sense, so, yeah. But, and Aquarians do it pretty well too. But it's about learning that, you know, let's say, this isn't a hard one because it's pretty easy for me, especially I'm a pure manifesting generator and human design, to where I don't have an emotional center. Like, doesn't mean that I'm not emotional, but it means that like I don't emotionally get caught up for too long on a lot of things. Like I say this one a lot. Like if I see a lady fall down at a supermarket and it's all the way down the hall and somebody's right there catching her and helping her up and she says she's okay, I look for a second and I'm like, okay, she's all right, and I let go. I don't get all like, oh my God, the lady, and da-da-da-da-da. I mean, even on True Beauty, you watched me when I'm like walking into the freaking thing and I open up the door and there's a lady in front of the door with her dog asking for help, and I'm like, one, energetically, she was an actor. I didn't know that though, but I could feel just it was like intentionally like trying to block me, and I said, excuse me, and then she just was like, can you help me? And I'm like, now this person is just she's just causing a fuse block. She's really not needing help, and this is just rude. And so I just said, excuse me, and I just said, walk to the door. I said, nah, I gotta do something. All right, I have something to do.
It's true. You did have shit to do.
I did have shit to do. And you have shit to do about being happy in life. Sag is our next reading. Got shit to do, which is, the way I was looking at it is like, look at your life. I'll like look at my life and be like, I'm 35 years old right now. Okay. Like fucking, this is not alignment right now. What the fuck? I don't want to be fucking 59 in my Saturn return. Fucking like, man, I was in that for so long and it was so bad. I just didn't know how to disconnect, and fuck, now I'm getting old. I'm already at that age to where girls are like, he's too old. Like, what? That's a weird feeling.
It's nice getting old, though. A lot of people don't get to experience that, so.
Yeah, All right, Sagittarius, we got the Scorpio card. Uh-oh. It's funny because we were just doing the weekly sun signs right before this for Sagittarius. You should check them out on highvibe.tv. But we got Scorpio card for Sagittarius. Yeah, there is some truth bombs coming out this week for Sagittarius, and the 12th house is the ruler of Scorpio for you. And we are getting ready for a Mercury retrograde in Scorpio in the next month and a half, so I would just prepare that, there's something off, there's something that is not fully connected this week, and you are not fully into something all the way. It was interesting, Britney Spears just put out a post about astrology on her Instagram and her Twitter and stuff. She put up a book, Astrology of the Soul. I forgot the author of that one. I think it's on her. We both have read that book. I have that book. I think it's Jane something. Anyway, and then Britney started talking about like relationships and stuff, and it was interesting. On TMZ, they just put out she was with her boyfriend on the red carpet, and she didn't look like she was into it at all, right? And then if you noticed yesterday, she puts up this big astrology thing about Sag, and she's like, well, I really connect with Aquarius, and I connect with Leos, and then she's like, I really like Scorpios too. And what was interesting is I'm like, I was like, what is this guy's sign? And I look, and I think he was a Pisces or something like that, if I remember right. And I was like, oh, she didn't even bring up the dude that is her boyfriend's sign? Ooh, that's some weird shit. And look at this Sag card, Scorpio. There's definitely some disconnection going on. You're not fully into it, Sag. You're not fully in. You're not all the way in. You don't want to be in fully about something. You don't want to even maybe expose it fully, try and hide it, but you're just like, gotta be real. I'm calling Britney Spears out. Boom! Fucking challenge past life karmic situations that you still are having challenging letting go of. Past life, when everybody says soulmates, guess what? Soulmates are here to come in and then get the fuck out. I will say that one forever. Soulmates are here to come into your life and then get the fuck out once the debt has been served. This is the challenge. When we stay in past life relationships for a long time, we love that feeling of connection. We love that soulmate energy, but you know what? It's here to teach us and help us grow and move us on. And there's definitely something that is always weird and always unique and always very like, how did this happen when it comes to soulmate relationships? Always a weird situation, every time. This is what the issue is. Can't get over this whole connection because it's got a past life feeling. But because on the other side of that, it's going to feel like a detrimental fall. But the truth is that you actually open up to new karma and getting out of that karma and getting what you actually want in Scorpio. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. Oh, man. yeah, you're afraid to spin the wheel into new fortune. You're wanting control still. So, of course, it feels like things are still going good with the Wheel of Fortune because you're in control of it. It'd be like going to play Wheel of Fortune, the game, with what's his name? Well, all I remember is Vanna White, but
You're right.
such a guy. Whatever his name is. No guy remembers the guy's name. You only remember, fucking Vanna White. But it'd be like taking the wheel and controlling it and being like, oh, it's about to click on bankruptcy. Let me just push it along a little bit more. Not willing to let the cards fall where they fall. Always adjusting it, but after you adjust it too much, guess what? Eventually that thing will land on bankruptcy, or it will land on a place that you don't want it to be. And when it finally does, it becomes harder because you've pushed it off. This is pushing something off so long now. It's funny because I've been doing a lot of Sag readings, and then we had a couple weeks there that went good, and then now we're back to some pretty serious shit here. And it's interesting. I think that Sagittarius are in a place to where it's like having troubles letting go, having troubles like truly knowing what they even want to connect with, and being in some really toxic stuff. Scorpio, 12th house is their first card. And wow, look at enchantment. They're either being enchanted by the past life, or there's like a spell on them. They're being like you're gonna notice somebody's putting a spell on Sages, and spells can sometimes be used in ways like looks or money or any of this stuff to try and make you feel like you got to stay in. And it's like this is getting to where you have to break yourself out of the spell. And I've been using a lot of Aladdin stuff lately. I don't know why, but when the Sultan in Jafar's got the snake, and he's like, you will, I don't forget what he said to the Sultan. He's like, you will, whatever. And he goes, and then Aladdin goes, Sultan Jafar's been, controlling you with this. And then he breaks it. And then the Sultan wakes up and goes, guards. What if I were to do that to you right now, Sag? Wake up. What are you doing, Sag? You got Leo, 3rd house with the South Node. You need to explore new radical territory, and because this is a South Node in Leo in the 3rd house, that means you need to explore in Aquarius this idea of disconnecting and going into the 9th house and actually going into new waters and exploring new territory that is way far beyond, because you were too addicted to the happiness of this environment that you're in. You're comfortable there, but it's actually not as stimulating as you want, or it's stimulating in the wrong ways, or you're just overly in love with it, but you're not expanding, and you're getting frustrated, and now you're starting to get, when Leo, South Node in the 3rd house starts to get pissed, it gets angry, it becomes that you become like in this environment that you love, but it becomes more like a cage.
That was deep right there.
I'm on a roll today. I mean, there's one lady in there, and I'm not going to give her any more out of that, but she thinks I suck at this. I think I'm pretty good. All right, Capricorns, and then Cancer's last. And perfect, because I got to go.
That you do. It is 8:37.
I got to come back, though, to film, but I got to go get that thing. All right, Capricorns, here we go. Oh, Capricorn, we got the air element communicating. There's definitely some communication that needs to be really clear this week, because you got to clear the air. You got to actually express what you are thinking in your head, what is going on in your mind, and how you're trying to figure out the environment. This is a new moon that is happening, of course, in your 10th house. So you're trying to build a lot of plans in your life, but without an open understanding of where things are going and communicating, it's going to be very hard to understand where things are going unless you are very truthful and very honest and clearing the air. I like this chart or this card because it's a lot like clearing the air. Let's start talking. Now we got as the challenge card, the trust card. Oh, this is the challenge, is being open about communication, about what you really are feeling inside. Maybe you're not really, I don't want to use just trust, but maybe you're just not feeling something fully. Maybe you're not fully committed. Maybe you're not fully, trusting even that you like this situation a lot. Or maybe if you're single, and you're communicating with somebody, maybe you don't trust them. Maybe you're trying to communicate and see what's really there. Capricorn, this is a very big time for you about making big choices in your life. Big time, especially with this new moon in the 10th house. But I think a lot of it is dealing with, you gotta start understanding and clearing the air. Where are things going? You did pull the 10 of Swords reversed. It's like you need to stop. You've been in a cycle that has not ended yet. The same cycle over and over. And this week it's gonna stop. You're gonna stop. I think that finally something has happened significant in your life to go, okay, I'm out of this pattern because that is over. There's something that ended this week and is going to end wherever you're hearing this video. And guess what? That ending is going to require you to feel like you can move into a whole new entire world and stop getting out of a pattern. But you're creating a new identity of your life and where it's going based off trying to communicate and understand this new path in your life. But there's some trust issues because you're not following your inner wisdom. You don't trust your own wisdom. You think that you're doing a bad thing by following your wisdom, like you're a mean person by following what is the wisest choice for you in your life. You need to be a true Capricorn, and this is what's wise for you. This is what makes sense, and this is where you are ending patterns and you are moving into a new one. And whether that's in yourself or whether that's in a pattern where this relationship doesn't work, or you're single and you're in a pattern where you're not stimulated, you have trust issues, you're not letting anybody in, and you're chopping it down before it can even happen. These are a lot of these endings. You did get the North Node in the 10th house. This is exactly great for you in Libra. Holy moly, this is where the new moon is, 10th house Libra for you. With the North Node here, you need to think about the long term, the longest term of ever, and more importantly, if this is really the balanced and most beautiful place of your life, because emotionally, if you just keep doubling down on what, you're trying to, be the hero. I think that Capricorns are trying to be the hero, or they're trying to save certain relationships, and they're trying to be this role model or embodiment of it, when really you need to learn that you need to be the most beautiful places by doing what's the hardest thing, which is by making hard choices, but putting yourself on a path that actually makes sense, that gets you to where you want to go, and that truly makes you feel beautiful and happy because you achieve what you want to achieve and have what you want to have, instead of feeling like you're in an emotional, sloppy war mess. All right, Cancers are next. Now I got to roll. That's the last sign. Cancers. Cancers. It's about a 10-minute drive. I am in the Corvette though, so got the radar detector.
Don't be going too fast.
755 horsepower weight, and I got some race fuel in there.
Don't be speeding now.
I don't speed.
Don't be speeding.
I don't speed.
Don't be incriminating yourself on live.
You should watch my Instagram stories. Pluto. All right, Cancer. Pluto. Transformation. This could be very positive, though. This is like you coming. I feel like I'm like in deja vu that we've already pulled this recently for Cancers. But there's a major, moment that continues, I think, to show up for you with Pluto, especially in your 7th house relationships. This is a big transformation that you have to do, and I think it's about what you connect to and what you don't connect to. It's about connecting to the energy that you really want, that's the best beneficial for your life, that's going to take you on a better path, and that actually is really in alignment with what you want, instead of connecting to these or staying or committing to energies that are not really in alignment with you at all. This is going to be a transformational week about how you change in yourself, but also about where you're putting your commitments and where are you doing that relationship-wise. And your trouble is relief. I think that you're afraid to make the change because you're afraid to find relief on the other side. You would rather stay in a place where you're relieved that you don't have to make a change. I think that Cancers are, in a weird place where they continue to stay, in this place of safety opposed to change fully. It's like getting close to change and then changing for a day or changing for a week and then going back. But I think that, maybe if you are willing and you have been facing the challenge of, I know I'll find the relief on the other side of change, and staying with that, even though this is a challenge, it's extremely beneficial and it is going to offer you the best love of your life. Look at that, 2 of Cups. I knew it. I am on today like a motherfucker. I'm always on though. I want to tell you that this is about, by making some major changes in your life about who you're with, and whether or not, if you were to get rid of this, would this actually be a deep core relief for you? Then that's going to offer you the best love of your life. But if you're continuing to be in a place where it's more like, well, I feel more relieved that I don't need to, you know, bomb this thing or nuke this thing because, oh my gosh, well, you're not going to have the deep connection and the emotional connection and the passion and the sex and all that beauty that you want. You did pull the abundance card. You have so much abundance waiting for you, the greatest love of your life ever, by just doing the hard thing and finally making the change that you need to do. And on the other side is the greatest abundance of your life waiting for you, Cancer. I mean, this one has been kind of going around for a long time, and it's almost like, you know, you haven't done it. And you got Leo in the first house in Jupiter. You need to love yourself. You need to love what you want in your life, not what you want from someone else. You need to love yourself. You need to love the identity of what you want, and you need to put your own happiness first. And if that other person, that other side is not showing up with that, and they're not of integrity and honor and courage and that ultimate bright light that you are, and they're a dark light, and they're taking you down, and they're not positive, then you need to fucking run. Thank you so much for joining us on Deep Love Tarot. We are here every Monday night. You can always email your questions to deeplovetarot@gmail.com. We are here at highvibe.tv. Thank you, Craig, for being part of the show as always. Glad to have you back.
Thank you.
And thank you all for watching on highvibe.tv. We got Deep Astrology coming tomorrow. We got After Dark, and more importantly, all the sun sign horoscopes are up, all the dailies, all the weeklies, all the amazing super awesome content that's exclusive for High Vibe members only at highvibe.tv. You can join today. Join now, highvibe.tv. We're on Roku, Android, and Apple TV, and iOS. I love you all very much. And for those out there that doubt me, this one's for you. Love you.